Greetings, beloved hearts of love. I am the victory, and those who know me often refer to me as mighty victory. For such are the qualities of my life, the service of my life. You may consider me one of the many of the ascended host who seek, along with each of you, to bring forth a new golden age upon the earth. I am actually that which is referred to as a cosmic being, a golden avatar. My home is at the center of the universe, in the place that we call the Great Central Sun. For a few centuries now, I have been in service to the great goddess of Venus and her planet Venus, working in the fifth dimension of that beloved planet. For 110 years, I have come to the earth to work with the mighty Saint Germain to assist in bringing forth this new golden age. To those of you who know of me, those of you who accept me, those of you who call me to fill your lives with my qualities of victory, I say to each of you, you are my dear friends of the light. Century after century, we have watched as the people of Earth continue to relive a consciousness of duality, believing in two powers, a power of good and evil. For centuries, people are born into this belief system, which is fostered into their minds, and relive it again and again and again. Yet know, precious hearts, that humankind, beyond all the present appearances in the outer world, now indeed is passing through a mighty initiation of love, and know in your heart of hearts a new wonderful world and civilization is coming. And how quickly it comes will be influenced by all of those on the earth who are awakening at this time. And so, as John Lennon encourages you through his song, Imagine, let us now together imagine. Let us know that imagination is not only an activity of sight, of vision. Imagination, too, is an activity of what we choose to accept, of what we choose to know. And while I am with you this day, to those of you who accept my reality, may I pour the feelings of my victory to each of you, and may each of us in this hour become one. one in consciousness. And together for a few moments, imagine that all the terrible appearances in the outer world are no longer touching the lives of those who are awakening to a higher consciousness, a consciousness of polarity, people who are expressing greater divine wisdom and heart, soul, love in their lives. Together, let us imagine a moment in time that the consciousness of those who are awakening presently on the earth is beginning to influence and overlight the mass general consciousness of the people. Together, let us imagine that the hearts of humanity are responding to this awakening consciousness. Imagine more of humankind are becoming more constructive, more kinder, more loving, and more wise. Imagine the mind of humanity is responding, and a new natural unfolding activity of greater wisdom is expressing through the minds of more and more people. So truly I say unto you, beloved precious hearts, this is what is happening on the earth now. To those of you who are seeking a higher spiritual consciousness that is found in the Tree of Life studies, where the polarity of light and love is expressing in your consciousness and your life, to each of you who are doing all that you can to spiritually develop yourselves, my message to you, I, Mighty Victory, the world needs you now, more than ever. The world needs you now, more than ever. Despite all appearances in the outer world, you are one people, one race, who came to the earth almost 15 million years ago, and like me, you came from the great central sun. And this makes you a creator race. We are all one consciousness, given the opportunity, the divine will, to express individually. And when enough of you are living in this greater consciousness of light and love and the absence of fear and darkness, you will together, you will influence the life and the general consciousness of the people of earth and all life upon this earth. So, together, let us remember that you are all creator beings endowed with the powers of creation. The truth is waiting for each of you to know and affirm. I am a being of cause alone, and that cause love, the sacred tone. I am a being of cause alone, and that cause love, the sacred tone. I am a being of cause alone, and that cause love, the sacred tone. I encourage you to adapt this, to know this with conviction, to affirm this truth. For this truth, too, will open from deep within your own beings, from the inner chambers of your own consciousness. This truth will help each of you to reveal and express a greater consciousness that is beyond the pairs of opposites, the good and evil. And so today, together in our consciousness, can we imagine a better world of, by, and for the people of Earth and all kingdoms of life that you share with upon your planet? Can we together imagine a moment in time where all belief in duality, in good and evil, has melted away from human consciousness? Can we imagine a time when all the people on earth have restored themselves, reconnected to their true divine nature? Let us imagine the polarity consciousness of light and love is once again expressing through the heart, the mind, and the life of all humankind. Let us imagine together that a moment in time has come where all fear, doubt, and destructive consciousness has been removed from the people of Earth. Can we together imagine all the people, to imagine that all the people have come to know the truth that Christ is not a man. Christ is a higher state of consciousness. A higher state of consciousness that Jesus attained and stated clearly is possible for each of you. Yet, as we imagine a rising tide in the affairs, the minds, the hearts of the people of Earth to this higher Christ consciousness, let not exist any more ego personalization of the Christ that suggests there is only one, or that suggests that you and me are only the Christ. So that is devastation to the truth that each of you, as you are spiritually growing, that you know the universal knowing of the truth of each person whether it is realized or not, does not change the truth. Imagine this higher consciousness that is coming is revealed in each person as the natural universal Christ consciousness that every person is intended to express. Imagine a time has come where not only the consciousness of the people, also that their bodies are responding to this new wonderful consciousness that has always existed, yet waiting to be revealed in the people of Earth. And people's bodies are responding with greater health and youth and life. And let us imagine that as all this awakening continues, that awakening humanity, perhaps for the first time, understands the powers of nature, the forces of the elements, and begin a new respectful relationship with the powers of nature. As this awakening continues, let us imagine that intuitively, naturally, the people of Earth are communicating with all other kingdoms of life on Earth. Imagine a time that people and animals are talking to each other and they understand each other. Imagine a moment in time that as humans express a greater essential harmlessness to all life, that the forgotten ones, known only in legend and lore, the beings of the elements, begin appearing on the surface of your planet. And humanity begins a new relationship with them. Elves, dwarves, gnomes, mermaids, fairies, the beings of the elements. Imagine as all this awakening continues, there is a growing and expanding peace and harmony in all the people of the earth. And imagine that all disease and destruction is leaving the earth plane. Imagine, beloved hearts, a moment in time where greater light and love and wisdom expressing through the minds of the people brings forth the rising of a whole new civilization, and greater wisdom and new harmless technologies are discovered and brought forth. Imagine the point, a moment in time, and all poverty has left the earth. And imagine the people have a new relationship with that which is in truth valuable and precious upon the earth. Imagine a moment in time with me where old corrupt systems of injustice and selfish control are peacefully collapsing, being replaced with a new system in perfect, balanced activity, liberty, and justice and freedom is prevailing in the consciousness of the people. Join me and imagine that your earth and atmosphere are responding to the great awakening of the people, and both are healing and balancing once again. Imagine the people working together to restore the wounds upon your planet. Imagine in this moment in time that is coming that other civilizations in your galaxy and beyond who have been waiting, watching, begin to observe a new essential harmlessness that is empowered in the consciousness of humanity. And imagine that these civilizations beyond your earth begin to make contact with the people of earth, sharing new sciences and helping to develop the good people. Imagine as this great awakening continues upon your earth, majestic waves of creativity expresses through the people of earth, and all creative impulse is divinely harmonizing the people in greater measure. And now, beloved hearts, imagine a moment in time where something spectacular occurs. For the first time in millions of years, for the first time, babies, new precious life streams, children are being born into this new awakened consciousness. And how quickly they develop. How quickly brilliant minds and expanding hearts expresses through these new life streams that are coming into the world. Imagine. A moment in time comes, beloved hearts, as people live in this greater consciousness of light, of love, that they are expressing a new frequency, a new vibration of energy and power and divine will. To only use these new energies and powers constructively. Imagine with me, I, Victory, that in these coming moments of time, some of the awakened ones on the earth who keep spiritually developing themselves begin to express what seems to be superpowers. Imagine these ones who become new, untouchable superheroes. Super beings with the power to project mighty rays of light from their hands, their eyes. Super beings, untouchables, who can project sacred flames like a cosmic blowtorch out of the palms of their hand. powers that the people of Earth have never used. Ours to build, to create. Imagine as these untouchable superheroes begin to walk amongst the people of Earth. They begin the dismantling of every destructive activity in the world. Imagine that these untouchable super beings, that they use their powers to disarm all machines and weapons of war. Imagine that as they walk amongst the people of Earth, they help the people, teach the people how to heal your planet. Imagine these untouchable beings who can move around with a new speed of light suddenly appear to those who choose to remain destructive. And these untouchable super beings warn those ones, change your ways, turn back to the light, or suffer your own demise. For if there be those in this great time of awakening that is coming, who will continue to fuel their hatred, there is a saying in the Ascended Master realm, hatred eventually recoils upon the persons who send that out. And when the new superheroes that are coming appear before those who choose to continue to be destructive, they will warn them. And if they do not heed their warning, their own hatred will then recoil upon themselves, and such will be their demise. Imagine these new wonderful times of building the most wonderful civilization. And imagine that that time has arrived to build a new permanent golden age upon your planet. Imagine angels returning to the earth, uncountable legions of them, stepping through your Earth's atmosphere, becoming visible to the people of Earth, to help them, to teach them, as was the original divine plan. Imagine a moment in time in this great awakening that the ascended host, who live in higher dimensions or realms of your earth, magnificent beings such as Jesus the Christ, the Buddha, Mother Mary, Lord Kutumi, Lady Nada, the archangels, the great goddesses. Imagine a moment in time, while in this great awakening of your people of Earth, that many of your ascended hosts step through the lower atmosphere of Earth. They come to help, to teach all humanity to become and express their divine natures. Together, let us imagine this new world. Let us know that we are beings of consciousness, and that as we align together in holding, in knowing, and accepting that a great light shall enter the minds of the people, greater love shall express through their hearts, and magnificent new creativity will unfold from the soul of the people of Earth. A new civilization shall rise. So to those of you who are awakening at this time, to those of you who are studying, developing your spiritual natures, meditation, and more, I say unto you again, your presence on the earth is most required at this time. And as each of you realize that it is through consciousness, it is not through physical bodies, it is through consciousness, that you are all one with each other. And it is time. It is time to influence each other's consciousness with the greatest light and love and peace, joy and happiness that is possible. For centuries, the ascended host have observed the people of Earth infect their own consciousness with this hideous belief in two powers, believing in this so-called tree of knowledge of good and evil. Humans have done this century after century after century after century. And today, human beings and all kingdoms who share life with you on this planet and your planet herself is suffering. Is suffering the consequences and the effects of this hideous belief in two powers. And I honor each of you who seek to spiritually grow, to understand, to seek and dare to be the truth expressing in your lives. To each of you, you will find a friend in me, I, Victory. And I say to you, you are my dear friends of the light. And I shall cast around each of you the great cosmic shadowless light, that nothing in the outer world can offend that light, your light, and you are given the time that you require to continue to spiritually grow. The opportunity is yours. The time is now. I know I don't have to imagine. I know a new civilization will rise upon this earth. What is not determined is how long the suffering and the shadows will continue to be in the minds and hearts of the people of earth. Some say that Christ is returning. Oh yes. When he so chooses to, Jesus Christ will return to the earth, and so will many of the other ascended hosts. Never has there been an opportunity like now for God, for Christ, for the natural laws of creation, of light and love, be revealed in your minds, in your daily consciousness. And so to all of you who have realized that deep within the inner chambers of your consciousness abides a grand cosmic being, your true self, that as you realize that you have lived only a fraction of yourself, there has never been a greater opportunity than now to say yes to that infinite individualized presence of God that abides in your inner consciousness, and live with great desire that inner higher consciousness reveal itself in your minds, express itself in your lives, and step forth and make a mighty difference. The world hungers, yet knows not what it is hungering for. Only as the people of earth awaken to the great truth of life and discover that each person, that all life and all kingdoms of life are precious. Will the people then awaken quickly? For mighty are the interventions and dispensations that are coming from on high. Yet first, from those of you who are awakening at this hour, it is up to you to hold, to know, and to accept the highest truth for all people and all kingdoms of life. I bless you. I am victory. And if you call to me, I will come with my angels of victory and enfold your life your consciousness, the great feelings and achievements of my own victory. I thank you. And I would also like to take this moment as I have imagined your future with you. Together we can create it, and much more as well, quicker than you dare to dream. As I leave you now, I wish to remind you of tonight's planetary teleconference. This is a wonderful means to join messenger number 2 and to decree for intervention and dispensation to help your earth and all life upon your earth. I love you, dear friends of the light. Adonai, Adonai, Adonai.